guys and girls, I know, right? How exciting, how exciting. I am not lying on my side. You get to see the full picture. Yes, I am in pajamas and it is my dad's shirt, but you know, comfort is everything. Comfort is everything. Also, 3 weeks of lying on your side sounds like super duper exciting and like you know, chilling, watching series. It honestly sounds like the best life in the whole world. Wrong. Because like after a solid 4 days, your arm gets numb and you forget that you even have a left arm because you can't really use it when you're lying on it, right? Or feel it, like, because it's half asleep. That's a lie. It was 100% fully asleep. Like, you probably could have tickled me, put some ice on it. Like, I wouldn't even have gotten chicken skin or goosebumps, like, whatever you call it. Like, pinky promise. The thing is, also, I wasn't just lying on my side, like, during the day type of thing. Like, I wasn't going to sleep and then lying however I wanted to, waking up at 12 and lying on my side. Do you know, no. I legit had to be that way 24/7. Like, and I honestly got sick and tired of it. I mean, I'm sure you can imagine. Like, picture this. We're at the dining room table playing Uno with my family. And your girl is obviously sitting in a chair, right? But here's the catch. There was a pillow on the table and I had to lie with my head sideways because obviously I had to lie a specific way and then play Uno like that.
Ooh, shame.
Talk about commitment to the game of Uno, right? Anyways, update time. So obviously in my last video I looked like Harry Potter pirate and now I'm just Harry Potter, which is great. But the point is, so like on Sunday late afternoon, the pain really immensely increased, like immensely. Like worse than the day of my op or the day after my op. And it was almost a week later, like I thought, Tan, stop being a wuss. But like the Schedule 5 painkillers that I was taking were legit doing nothing for me. And I know I sound like an absolute druggie when I say that, but it's the truth. Anyways, on Monday morning, I phoned in again. They must hate me. And they said that I should come in, which I did. And turns out that the reason why my painkillers weren't working wasn't because my body was used to them, which is obviously what I thought it was. Clearly, that's why I am not a doctor. But basically, the average eye pressure should be between 10 and 21 millimeters of mercury. So obviously anything above that or below that is abnormal. And well, if you know me now, I don't do anything normal. So my eyes literally just had to confirm that yet again. And well, the winner goes to me with eye pressure of a whopping 44 millimeters of mercury. Yes, folks, 44 millimeters of mercury. Oh, yeah. Anyway, I got prescription drops, like pressure drops, which I have to put in my eyes twice a day for the next week. And then I'm seeing him next week, Monday, for a 2-week post-op checkup. And hopefully the pressure in my eyes is gone and I don't have to see him for a very long time. Anyways, okay, so for this episode of Tan's Truth, in my last video I mentioned that I wanted to like expose you to and show you kind of like a day in the life of someone that's visually impaired, and what we go through like on an average day. I'd also like to just disclose that it's 100% different for every visually impaired person. Like, we definitely not all the same, and we obviously cope and manage and adapt to our eyes differently. But this is just so that you guys can get like a basic understanding and kind of like start acknowledging how lucky you guys are, or kind of at least accepting how much you guys take for granted without even like realizing. So this short story that you're gonna watch is the average day of a visually impaired teenager. Let's call it a Friday. You wake up on a Friday morning type of thing, okay? I hope you guys enjoy. Your alarm clock goes off. You click snooze and roll over. 5 minutes later, you're awakened again with the same alarm sound. You sit up, rub your eyes, and have your morning stretch. Now that you're awake, you look over your shoulder and gaze hopelessly at the alarm clock. You squint. You tilt your head left and right. You shut your eyes tight and open them up again, just to try the same routine over and over again. You strain, you struggle, but no matter what you do, You cannot read the time on the clock. You feel drained and disappointed in yourself. This simple task, so many people take for granted every single day, while those who are less fortunate experience this scenario on a daily basis, and it has become a familiarity that leaves them feeling as if they have let themselves down. You walk into class and sit down. You take out your space case and notice that there is a lot of writing on the board. You start to panic, and you can slowly start to feel your body tense up. You know you struggle to read the board, and each time you look at the board, the writing gets blurrier and fuzzier. Nothing is clear, except for the fact that you cannot read a word off the board. You look around, and everyone's pens are moving recklessly, and you start to internally panic. You decide to pretend to take down notes and sketch doodles all over your page instead, to look busy. At the end of the class, you go up to a friend, and you ask to take their book home to copy the rest of the notes, and you tell them a little white lie. I didn't have enough time to finish. This stress-free task is a huge struggle to those with vision issues, especially those who are below the age of 18 and have to attend school. They experience such on a daily basis. Your sight is precious. Appreciate it. Your phone beeps. You pull it out and you read that you have one new message. You unlock your phone and bring it within 5 centimeters of your face in order to read the message. Except you don't realize how close it is. Your body is subconsciously adapting to be able to read that message. Your eyes are straining regardless, and the pressure on your eyes is immense. Even though technology is advancing, even with the improvements, enhancements, and new discoveries being made, many will agree that these advancements have enabled those with visual impairment to be able to zoom in and out, adjust text sizes, and change settings to suit their preferences and likings. So some might even argue that those that are visually impaired don't have to strain or struggle or stress, because you can just, with a press of a button, change your font size to 16, 18, or 20. But regardless, those that are visually impaired, their eyes are always working in overdrive. The opposition has the ball. She kicks the ball into the air. It's beyond your peripheral vision, and you know you cannot see it, but you still pretend. Your teammates start to shout and cheer, signaling that the ball is obviously coming your way. You can barely see it, but you keep going, pretending that it doesn't look like a fuzzy ball. It lands before you, and you clear it. You smile as your teammates compliment you on your clearance, and you breathe a sigh of relief. 10 minutes later, the referee blows the full-time whistle, and the game is over. For some individuals, they will agree that without sport, their lives would be nothing but balls of stress and depression. But for others, not being able to play sport is the best kind of news they could have received. For those of you wondering why the audio is all about soccer and not about one of the items mentioned, such as tennis, hockey, cricket, squash, even ping pong, the reason for this is those are the sports that most visually impaired individuals cannot partake in, purely because the ball is too small. While all your friends turn 17 and the conversation of learner's license and booking their learner's test comes into play, you sit and wonder if you will even pass the eye test to book your learners, never mind pass the learner's test. You're left in a cold sweat, tense and completely stressed out. You avoid questions relating to it and pretend to not let it get to you, but deep down inside you are struggling. You start to overthink. No learner's license means no driver's license, which ultimately means no freedom or independence when you turn 18 and become legal. You don't understand why this is all happening to you, and why you cannot just be like an average teenager and do normal teenage things. You want to stop, to wake up from this nightmare, get in your car and drive away. But you cannot drive, ever. A year passes, and while all your friends pass their driver's license and get their very first car, you are not even capable of booking your learner's license, driving, or even having your own independence or freedom. You will never have that luxury. All you can do now is accept it. You get home and take out your maths book to complete some homework that you were given in class. You open up on the page and you gaze down. Graphs everywhere. You read the questions carefully and start to interpret the graph. You drag your finger across the markings on the graph to identify the figures and numbers. You keep losing your place, and your eyes start to feel heavy and lazy. The pressure is on to keep trying because of the societal stereotype that graphs are the easiest section in maths. Like, come on, man. The harder you try, the worse it becomes. The pressure continues, and the limited vision you have continues to take strain. Something as simple as doing one's homework out of a school textbook is something that most people take for granted and don't actually appreciate because it's not something they ever would. But to those that have vision problems, it is a daily struggle. Dinner is finished, and now it is 7:30. You join your family in the TV room and sit on the couch for your favorite television program. The TV seems so far away from where you're sitting. It looks like a rectangle with some glowing fuzzy light. Nothing is clear except for the voices coming from the surround sound of the program. You squint your eyes and try to focus your vision. You lean forward, hoping that your view will clear up and the distortion will disappear, but the strain on your eyes just escalates and the images just get hazier, and your last resort is to get up and take a small chair and sit closer to the television. This scenario is experienced by many people who are visually impaired. One can experience this if they are heavily short-sighted or even far-sighted. If one had to think logically about this small situation, imagine this but on a larger scale. Sports events, live shows, game drives, movie cinemas. The struggle is endless. It's 9:30 on a Friday night. It's time to go out and jowl with your friends. You get in the Uber, and off to the jowl you go. The car pulls up and parks, and you can hear the banging and thumping of the music inside the club. Except, the thumping is actually your heart racing within your chest and not inside the club. You keep telling yourself, you can do this, you'll be okay, you're just like everybody else. But you're not like everyone else, and you know it. You grab your friend's bag strap, hand, top, shoulder, or anything that you can actually get your hands on. You're petrified. It's dark, and you cannot see. You can feel that there are so many people around you, yet you cannot see them. This feeling is indescribable, and you know you're not in your safe place. In fact, you are totally out of your comfort zone. But you pretend yet again to fit in and attempt to enjoy your evening. You refuse to let your eyes take something else away from you. The average teenager or human struggles to see in dark places such as clubs, so imagine those who struggle to see in light. This is a typical situation that visually impaired teenagers and young adults face within society. And with that said, that's a wrap of today's episode of Tan's Truth. I hope today's video has taught you to appreciate the little things in life. And remember, you're only as good as you think you are. So think you're great, and that is exactly what you'll be. Peace, love, and all things kind.